All right, let's see if today we have less tech issues.
Yeah, should be right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and the Tone Vase. Good morning, mate. How are you?
Morning, morning. And yes, we're working today. Wow. Okay. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I'm in a better mood today. I went to my favorite steakhouse last night. I posted it on Telegram. I gotta post it on Instagram. I don't post it on Twitter. Maybe I should. There's just too many social media, man.
Yeah. No salary last night, hopefully, so your mood's fine.
No, nothing. Yesterday was a proper carnivore meal, except the meatballs had like some tomato sauce around them. So I don't know, hard to avoid that. But man, next year I'm going hardcore carnivore. Also notice I haven't been drinking any tea with my morning shows. Maybe that's making me a little grumpy. And
Yeah.
because I've always done intermittent fasting. So that means no food until like the evening time, like six-ish or later. But now I just started doing dry fasting until six-ish. So no liquid, no solid until dinner time. It's working out. Well, maybe I'm still a little grumpy, but eventually that'll stop.
Not financial advice. Look, I don't miss Australia too much, especially what happened today in Australia. I won't even talk about that. It's absolutely disgusting what the government is doing. Don't miss Australia at all. But God damn it, I could, you just go to the supermarket, you can buy a tomahawk steak like this for $50. In Japan, it's like a little piece of wagyu like this for the same price. It's not the same. Anyway, Tone, even though you're not in a bad mood, you're in quite a chipper mood. I don't think people are going to like what you have to say in today's show. Would that be a fair assessment?
Uh, maybe. I'll let you go first as usual.
Yep.
I may not be as bearish as I was yesterday, and I'll explain why.
That's that's interesting. All right. So let me just go through the 15-minute time frame as it stands right now. I closed out the trade I was in, so I
Nope,
was
that's
long
4 hour.
from,
That's 4 hour, Matt.
you know what? I like the 4 hour. But you're right, it is a 4 hour. Let's go to 15-minute because it's actually relevant to what I'm talking about right now. Yeah, that looks better. So I was long from 92,620, and on this candle here, I closed that trade out. And no, actually, you know what? It was on this candle. Sorry, perfect. Perfect. It was on this candle right here. I closed that candle out. And I know why I did it. Looking at this structure the way it was, we came down and put this low in, and then we came back up, sort of got near the 30 simple moving average, came back in, it would look like a double bottom, came back to retest 30. And at that time I was like, three chances of this, it's not gonna hold, right? So I closed the trade and I was right, immediately right. And then the price started to recover pretty well. And right here, I went long again. And it went back down to my entry. I was like, okay, you idiot, Matt. You should have stayed stuck to your guns. And then I was in really good profit. And just what, 3 minutes ago, Tone, before we started the show, I closed the trade out just at break even. After fees, I probably took a fractional hit on this trade. Totally fine. Glad I closed the trade out. Here I was feeling not very good, and it makes sense why I wasn't feeling good. Here I was feeling like, you know what? Maybe we got a shot here. And here I was feeling like, yeah, that's another good call by old Matt here. And when it failed, it was specifically on this candle, it came right back down to my entry. And then here, when it booted back up, I was like, great, fantastic. But as soon as that candle faded, I was like, that's it. That's it. I'm out of this position. Had that a candle, this it's so funny at the time. If this 15-minute candle had a recaptured that loss that we had right there at 59,000, we'll call it's 56,000, I would be right now quite bullish. And I'm not bearish because of over a matter of $500. It doesn't change me too much. I could re-enter this trade, but it was a absolutely enormous trade, 10x leverage. So I had to make the call. Now, I'm going to get rid of these lines right now. There was a really good comment in last night's show. I felt like I addressed it pretty well last night, but it has to be it has to be said again. We're talking about trading positions, high leveraged trading positions that are day trades. It's not about the hodl. Just because I say I'm selling doesn't mean I'm selling all of my hodl. Guys, it's a daily trading show. Please remember that, right? So it's just what I'm seeing right now. If this goes back to 96,000, I might look to re-enter this trade on the 15-minute time frame as it stands right now. It doesn't mean I'm macro bearish or something. Man, that message gets lost in the weeds sometimes. But all good. 4 hour time frame as we move through it. The other thing that made me decide to close that trade out was that when we did have that rally that I was excited about, it came on and touched exactly almost, it's got to be to the dollar of the 50 simple moving average. This is the kind of throwback that you'll get when people will short off, So like it makes total sense to me that we came down. And as Tone mentioned, we have the rally into that looks like a full-blown recovery. And this is that, as Tone mentioned beautifully, the second attempt to sell if you didn't sell at the higher points. So I'm really cautious of that right now. All that could be proven totally wrong if we start to recapture these, we start to get above 96 and then start kicking on, then it looks great. We're all upside above 96. Let's call it 97,000 for argument's sake, just to round it off. But on the downside, it still makes perfect sense to me that this is a throwback to retest and to get liquidity to dump the rest of the position. So there's absolutely further downside targets on the table looking at this until proven otherwise. And for me, proven otherwise, last night in the show, I said it was 96. But now that we did break 96 and then came down, the theory's the same. It's just been moved to 97. The same thesis that we had last night. Daily time frame. It's the same jazz here, and it's even more clear on the daily time frame. I said last night, if we can close at 96, uh, you know, beautiful. We can start tomorrow, meaning today, above the 7 simple moving average, and it's all onwards and upwards. But instead, it did the only slightly different scenario as it stands right now that we didn't close above the 7 simple, and it's starting to look like a throwback to the breakout. This is the breakout. This is a throwback to the breakout, which is leading me to believe that there's further downside. But let me just reiterate it because I don't want it to get lost in the weeds. If this candle starts going green and we start to tippy toe back up above the 7 simple moving average, and then we can get above 97, I think this is off to the races. But this is a no trade zone right here, in my opinion, unless possibly you're shorting, but it's a bit risky to do that, I would think as well. Weekly, just to finish off, we've got one more day in the week. It's kind of stuck in the range. If this finishes green, once again, same point, it's a great week. And next week would be looking really fantastic. But this thing could fade back down. And next week could be, who knows. That's where I'm handing it back to you, Tone. I'm coming back off live stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please like and subscribe. Please share with your friends. Use the affiliate links in the description below. We've got 2bit and we've got BitGet here. Great sign up deposits. We had a really good trade last night. I'll just share that now because people might be wondering what happened with the Bang Box trade from last night.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was great.
curious as well.
Sure,
I think
sure.
it did well, right? I don't think that I don't think it stopped out. I don't think the pullback was big enough, right?
No, no, it did. It was a great trade. A great trade, in fact. Um, Let me just wind this up. There we go. Perfect trade. Uh, Entry last night, we entered live on air last night. We had an initial stop loss in
What was the
place.
price? What was the go through the prices? Entry price
Entry.
and then first exit, second exit, final exit.
Yep. So we got 94,500 round number entry, first take profit, second take profit, fees covered, moved, the stop loss moved
No,
up from,
price. What price was the first exit, second exit?
sorry, dude. First exit was 94,800. Second exit 95,000, and then we finally closed the trade out at 95,700. Um, great. We had a little glitch last night in the system through the API connection. So actually, Blowfin last night took a 12% profit, and BitGet actually took out 25. The position was closed here at 97,300. Was an absolute cracker of a trade. The reason that the we posted in the Telegram group, it was a funny API fee that we've already resolved now. But anyway, so we pulled 25% out last night, which was really nice, and we pulled out 12% on Blowfin last night. So either way, a positive trade, and the price has now reset, so we're eligible once again. But again, we're back down again now, so I'm glad we took that scalp on. Coming back to you right now, Tone. All those links are in the description below. Take advantage of it, guys. Join the Discord group. Fantastic. Tone, what are you seeing, mate?
All right. Well, I also have to reiterate the fact that if we are talking about trading positions, I mostly talk about non-leverage trading, and Matt talks about leverage trading, but they're all still trading positions. And so keep that in mind. All right. Long-term view, very, very bullish. That's the monthly chart. The weekly chart, not much to say. This is the candle that follows the MRI top candle, which if this candle is fairly bullish and any close above 94,000 on current candle makes it bullish. That means the following candle could create an opportunity for me to go back into a 100% long trade, which will happen with a green star candle, which means we're breaking the current week's high. Now, there's a little bit of a nuance here. If we are breaking the current week's high on a Monday, I may be a little hesitant to go 100% long, but if we are breaking the current candle's high on a Thursday or Friday, or we're uh, staying above that break, like we break it on Monday and we're still above it on Wednesday, Thursday, that's when I'm likely to go back into confidence with 100%. Okay, that's the longer term picture. This was my last two, massive bullish conviction calls. I put this down in real time because a bunch of this I drew in like backwards looking, but these were my honest opinions at the time. This was my opinion at the time. Price was 60,000 and right here at 23,000. These two spots were probably the most bullish on Bitcoin I have ever been, like ever. Like you can go back all the way to when Bitcoin was $500, and I am more confident at these two spots with Bitcoin at 23 and at 60 that you're going to get positive returns, right? Hindsight is always 2020. It sounds great that you were bullish on Bitcoin at 500, but I wasn't as confident at 500, right? Obviously, the chances of a high return make up for the lack of confidence, but I've never been as confident that Bitcoin is going to go higher than at these two spots, and I was very adamant about it in real time. This isn't hindsight, right? I mean, Matt, you remember this time as well. It was before you and I started the show, but you were watching me religiously at this time, and we were always talking.
You and I were messaging privately a
Yeah,
lot that time. Yeah.
yeah. So that's how it's going to stay. 4-day chart. This is my allocation chart. I dropped the annotations. I don't know if I'm going to keep the 4-day chart. I may just I may keep an eye on it. I may move my allocations to the weekly chart, and I'll probably trade less often starting next year. I'm not going to go in and out of the market as much. I'm going to ride the bull market probably for all of next year. Okay. Daily chart. It's exactly like Matt said. Okay. The daily chart is still in a bearish MRI count. So it's holding the 20 period moving average. It can continue to do this, right? The price is correcting. The high was made on Friday, November 24th. That's when I exited my trade. I went from 100% long to 0% long. I went fully cash on this day. Could I have timed it better by a few hours? Sure. Was I wrong? Absolutely not, right? So this was the exit, okay? I am happy to get back in at the same exact price I exited or at a higher price. I am perfectly okay with that. People had 1, 2, 3, 4.5 days. Well, let's say 4 days, half a day here on Thursday 21st and half a day on Monday the 25th. So both of these were actually weekdays. People had 4 full days to get out at the top. Okay. If they missed it, they had another chance yesterday to get out at the same price. Because if I extend my box, oh shit, not like that. If I extend my box, guess what? The little wick of yesterday that was happening while Mark and I were live. And I was calling this top as we were live. In fact, we got way higher than I thought we could possibly get yesterday. Okay. I thought 96,000 was the ultimate top on yesterday's candle. And we made it to 27,500. That was like absolutely incredible for those that missed the chance to get out. Okay. Now, is it still too late to get out? It's not. Well, you can't get out of your ETFs positions because the market is closed. Do I think we're going to crash today? I don't think so. Do I think we're going to have a bearish day today? The answer is yes. I think we're going to close today's candle in the vicinity of 94 and change. I think we will be below 95 when this candle closes. Now let's go to the shorter term charts. We're going to go with the 4-hour chart. Okay. When we were doing the show yesterday, the price was hovering. Here is the 7 a.m. candle on the 4-hour. So the price must have been around 94,000 when we did the show 24 hours ago. And I drew this box between 95,000 and 96,000 saying non-trading trading advice. Take your profit in this box between 95 and 96. Okay. We are still in this box between 95 and 96. We went slightly higher. We reached 97.5, which is great. Okay. Almost at my exit. Remember, my exit is this turquoise color line. We didn't make it there, but that was my exact exit. Okay. Now, we are hanging out in this area for quite a long time now, for almost 24 hours. That is a bullish sign. That's a positive sign. Okay. The longer we hang around this area, the higher the probability that the drop from this area will not take out the lows. The lows that we had last week. The low on actually this week, Tuesday the 26th, earlier this week. Okay. These lows have a 50-50 chance of not breaking to the downside, which some people may feel, oh, tone is 50-50. 50-50 is valuable information. Okay. All information is valuable, right? It's like when I used to do that law show, right? And we would discuss the topics with the lawyers beforehand. And I'm like, hey, can we talk about this? Can we not talk about this? And some of the guys, did I lose screen share?
No, mate, you're good.
Okay, no mind. My things are just off a little bit. And some of the guys are like, hey, Tone, we can't talk about this case or that case because I'm involved. And I'm like, okay, but can I bring it up? And can you say no comment on this case because I'm involved? And they're like, yeah, okay, I can say that, right? Because that's also valuable information, right? Because either I don't bring up a topic at all, and then people are like, well, why didn't you talk about this case? It's super important. And this way, I bring up the case, and the lawyer says, Sorry, Tyler, we can't discuss it. I'm involved in the case. See, that's valuable information for you. Now you don't go screaming at me, Tone, why are you ignoring, the Ripple case? You must be a Ripple shill. You don't want to talk about it, right? So non-information is valuable information. Okay. And so because we're hanging out in this area quite a bit, I'm now raising my probability that we may not get into the 80s. And that's valuable information. However, in order for me to go bullish, I still need uh, consolidation above 96, consistently above 96, and ideally starting Monday, because I cannot enter on current candle because I am being disciplined with my MRI rules. But I'm happy to get in on a green star candle that follows the MRI top. But I can only get that next week above the current candle's high. So I don't want to see Bitcoin rally to 102 this weekend, and I honestly don't see why it would. It's a big holiday weekend. Volume is low. People are going to be chatting over Thanksgiving. People are going to relax. They're not going to rush out to buy Bitcoin. The ETFs aren't going to be buying Bitcoin this weekend because of the holidays. So I see the only options for the rest of the week until Monday is either more consolidation between, say, 93 and 97, or a push lower, but not too low. Matt, had your hand up.
Have you noticed that a lot of amateur traders get fixated on their entries and exits in a competitive manner, especially on the internet, right? On Twitter or in comment sections on videos? That let's just say you don't get in till next week. Let's say we recover this week and it goes to, and then next week you have to enter at 99 and you had the chance to enter at 95. You personally, Tone Vase, don't care about that because you
No.
followed your rules. But you'll get hung in the comment section. So, well, I got in at 95, 600.
Okay, let me let,
You know,
let, let me re-answer that question, right?
yeah.
You tone vase don't care about that. If I wasn't a public person, posting the price of my trades, I wouldn't care about that, right? But because I am a public person and I occasionally post the exact to the dollar amount of my entries and exits, there's a lot of criticism I deal with online. So yes, I do care about that, right? Like I would be a lot, it would be way better for me mentally had I actually like had my flight 5 hours earlier. I waited through the 10 a.m. reversal. I exited at 99 and a half, and then I could, gloat better on the internet, right? But in reality, if I was a private person without a YouTube channel, I couldn't care less that I exited at 97.8 versus 99.5.
Right. And the funny thing that I never understand is like, I hope you make money. I'm rooting for you. You know, if you got a better entry, if you got a great entry and you made money on a trade, I'm like, fuck yeah, great. Look, and I don't understand why people are like, oh, I got a better entry than you, you suck or whatever. It's what? What is that? Well, what's the sour grapes there, guys? Shout and frauder. Like we should all be proud of each other. That's how I see it. I don't care. Don't care what you do. Good luck.
A person does say that markets are open tomorrow. Markets are open tomorrow, but they're not really open tomorrow. Tomorrow is a half day in between two off days. It makes no sense whatsoever why the markets are open tomorrow. Maybe I mean, the stock market just doesn't want to be closed for 4 days in a row. The only time the stock market was ever closed for 4 days in a row was during 9/11 attacks. The market was closed for 4 days in a row. That was the only time pretty much in history, right? Like even during World War II, the market stayed open. So they just don't want to keep it. They just want to give traders a chance to get in and out in case something happens. But no, guys, no one is trading tomorrow unless something catastrophic is happening. There's no reason to trade tomorrow, and nobody does.
Right.
No Wall Street person is going to the office tomorrow. Everyone's working from home, and I use the word working very loosely.
Yeah.
So I do think that this weekend is going to drag the price of Bitcoin down. The question is, how far down will it drag it? I don't think we're going to hit new lows. I don't think there's going to be any capitulations this weekend. If there is a capitulation going lower than this week's low, it's going to happen next week or the week after. I don't think it's going to happen over Christmas or December, okay, or Christmas or New Year's. So it's a very short window on this pullback. This pullback was never going to last, in my opinion, for months like the last one did. Like if we go here, the last time we had an MRI top, we ended up, trending to the downside for like 6 months. I think if we do trend down, it's going to be 1 to 4 weeks. And I think it's going to be closer to the 1 than the 4. Like, I just don't think we're going to be dragging Bitcoin down all the way into next year. I think the low is going to be made in early December if it hasn't already been made. And I do think we're going to be trending up going into the new year. However, if a new low is to still be made next week, by the time we recover and slowly go up with this holiday season, I still think breaking 100K this year is 50-50. And everyone was ready to pop their champagne bottles. They had them in their hands. And and if we do break 100K by like $1 or two, it doesn't make that much of a difference. I want to be right. I want us to break 100,000, say January 1st or 2nd, so I can be officially right. But I also remember what I said, right? What does break 100K mean to Tone? Spending over 12 hours consistently above 100K, right? Like some guy pushing the price up there and making a $10 trade above 10K on average across all exchanges. I mean, yeah, technically today becomes the day that it happened, but in reality, that's not what we mean when we say the price breaks something. So yeah, I still think it's going to happen either after Christmas or early next year.
Righto. Well, let's finish it off. What's the traditional markets doing?
Well, nothing because it's Thanksgiving, but we can glance. Let's see how they're closing the week, basically. Oil, just consolidating. Gold, recovered from the big crash. No idea why that happened. It's not manipulation, guys. It just, should happen. Somebody wanted to just get out. Stock market is probably going to close this week at a new all-time high, which is great on a weekly scale. And the daily chart gave us a new closing high 2 days ago. And today 2 days ago. And we'll see what happens tomorrow. The futures look like this is weird. Huh. So there's a candle here and it says Friday, November 29th, which is tomorrow. That's weird. That's very weird. I can't explain that. So we're just gonna leave it be.
Move on.
And what is the Fed gonna do? I think Jerome Powell is gonna get fired. Yes, Trump can fire him. I don't care what Jerome Powell says. And I've always said the head of the chair can be fired by the president. I've always said that. And December 18th, so coming up, looks like people think they're going to lower rates again. I don't understand why. That makes no sense. And I haven't updated the Bitcoin ETFs. I'll update them at the end of the week. But yeah, so far it's a good month. I think these numbers are down a smidge, but not BlackRock's numbers. BlackRock's numbers are just out of control. Look at the volume. I mean, BlackRock is just crushing it. I think BlackRock holds more Bitcoin than the rest combined. No, not yet, but they will soon. BlackRock is just absolutely crushing it. Yeah, that's it. That's
Great.
really it for me.
Fantastic.
Bitcoin dominance pulling back, but once Bitcoin pops over 100K and starts to rally, Bitcoin dominance is going to go way up. I mean, I think Bitcoin dominance will be breaking 75% probably by end of this year, by end of next year. Yeah, by the time we get to 26, I would expect Bitcoin dominance to be above 75%. All right, close this up.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. I hope all you Yankees out there have an absolutely fantastic Thanksgiving and Black Friday, the day after. For the rest of the world, it's just a normal day. But take a chance to take a break if you're an American. Have a lovely time and enjoy your time with your family. See you tomorrow, same time, same place.
Bye, guys.